call this meeting in order, please. All those able, please stand up and pledge
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Let's see. Mr. Boyle.
Yes. Here.
Mr. Esco.
Here.
Mr. Collins.
Yes.
Mr. Bishop. Yes. Mr. Hutchinson.
Here.
And Alyssa.
Here.
Okay. Before we, okay, Dan, I need you to.
Well,
Move to go into executive session.
we're not going to actually go into it at all. Okay.
Yeah, we have to.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I move that we go into executive session for reason number one, in accordance with Mass General Law, Section 30A, 21, to discuss complaints and potential discipline against an employee.
Second.
Okay, motion made, second, roll call vote. Mr. Boyle.
Yes.
Mr. Esco.
Yes.
Mr. Collins.
Yes.
Mr. Bishop, yes. For the record, I'm asking Mr. Collins to recuse himself. Number one, he wasn't involved in this one on the board when this happened. And number two, Alyssa campaigned for him. She set up meetings for him. And it's just, actually, it's a conflict of interest in my eyes. So you're risking some problems. So. And for the record, Mr. Stroud is excused. Okay. Some folders here.
Excuse me, many of us are here because we'd like to hear something. Are you allowed to tell us anything?
There will be no public comments. Okay, this is an executive session. Okay, this is an executive session, no public comments.
I thought I could request to be an open session.
It is an open session, but it's still an executive session, an open session, and there are no public comments.
Okay.
Now, clarify it for our counsel if you don't believe me. Is that correct?
Yeah, so my understanding is that the employee has requested that the meeting be held in open session, and therefore it will be held in open session. The public is allowed to remain in the audience, but it's up to the chair to recognize speakers to participate in the discussion.
Okay. I got some questions for you. How did you become in possession of this letter?
It was delivered anonymously.
Where and when did it arrive?
January 25th, it was on my desk. January 23rd, it was on my desk.
Okay. Okay. Do you know how it got on your desk?
I do not.
Do you know who wrote the letter?
I do not.
Okay. Why did you show the letter to at least 3 people, and possibly 4 that I know of?
The town clerk herself was mentioned in it. I didn't think it was confidential as it requested to be read out loud at the January 27th select board meeting. It was sent to iBurchers.
No, it wasn't. You sent it to iBurchers.
Okay.
And that's the problem.
Okay.
You didn't think after reading that letter and letting everybody reading that letter, why did you let them read that letter?
It was an anonymous resident that I thought should be.
It came to the attention of the select board.
Okay, yes.
Did it not?
It did.
Did you have permission to share that?
I didn't have permission to not share it.
Part of
And
your
when
job
we
is to keep
conversated-
select board mail separate so the members of the select board hadn't seen that before you were showing it to other people in the town. And my guess is you were doing it because of the contents of that letter. Am I wrong?
I showed it because of the contents of the letter, yes.
Why?
Because I thought there were some valid points in there. It was an anonymous resident, wanted
There
to be
was a
heard.
lot of invalid points. And why did you choose it to show it to the press?
Because it said CCI Berkshires, I figured it was already sent to them.
But why did you send it?
Just wanted to make sure they had it, which they did nothing
Why?
with.
What was your intent of them having it? So you can spread more false stuff that was on that?
Okay.
That was wrong. It was totally wrong. And here's the timeline under here. Everybody's got it?
I'm not sure about it.
So saw the timeline, John, right here.
Oh, that one, all right.
And that's explains each one. Okay, 9:59, you sent it, you contacted me with a picture of the envelope. At 10:09, and here's all this correspondence stored right here. In 10:09, anonymous letters was scanned to your anonymous letter, you scanned it to your email. At 10:29, you scanned a letter to me, and under the headline, letter from anonymous resident received. And you sent it to iBerkshire.
Mhm.
At 10:41, under the heading anonymous letter for resident received, you sent this letter to Tom, Tim, and copied me, and blind copied yourself.
Mhm.
Okay, at 11:16, you had a letter headline, letter from anonymous resident received to Tom, Mr. Zessis, myself, and you blind copied yourself and another member of the town about a different post for about an election. In 11:19, under the headline, letter from anonymous resident received to Tom, and you did it for another Facebook post. And at 1:51, you sent a letter to another, with the original, I'm backing up. The anonymous letter you sent about a post to another member of the town. That person sent it to another member of town. And that was copied from myself, Mr. Zessin, and you blind copied yourself and another person on there. And then at 2:54, you sent a text to me requesting an update on the letter, and I responded, put the original letter in an envelope and leave it in his mailbox. Mr. Zessin told us to take no action on this because there was no merit to it because it was unsigned. So you chose to spread this all over the place and spread this out, trying to damage another person that works for the town. And you know
Okay. Can I ask who filed this complaint? Do I have the right to know that?
it. No.
I don't have the right to know that?
There's no complaint.
No complaint.
So you just went through my emails for just no reason? I don't understand where this came from. This was weeks ago. And no one complained that I shared the letter, but you thought it necessary to
It got back to the
retract
select board because you told somebody, and somebody told somebody that you showed them the letter, and then it got back to us, and I had to take action on it.
and I can't know who did that. No.
Not in open session, no.
Okay.
Because we cannot mention names. You will be told.
And the letter without names can't be read in open session?
No,
The anonymous letter itself?
no.
It's an anonymous letter.
It's an anonymous
Somebody
letter.
puts their
There's no
name on
merit to
it.
it.
We could choose to read it if we'd like to. I think we have a choice to read it or not.
And we were advised by the town council not to read it because there's no merit to it.
Okay.
An anonymous letter with a lot of inaccuracies and accusations. And regardless of the contents of the letter, from my mind, it's a breach of trust within the town hall and it works to undermine the select board, as well as the town manager, and people are trying to do the work of this town, to share a letter that has so many inaccuracies, from my view, particularly an anonymous one. None of this can be verified. It's very, very troubling to me. And that's my issue, is that it's a breach of trust and it foments a division. It continues a division that apparently people are saying is there, but it doesn't do anything to help bring people together. It continues to further divide.
Yeah.
So I see that as grossly inappropriate myself. Frankly, some discretion at the executive level is what is needed from an administrative assistant, executive assistant. It's discretion. Now, whether you agree with what's in the letter or not, or you think something's true, that's besides the point. I think someone of your responsibility, from my view, should hold some more discernment as to what is shared, what is discussed, and protect some confidentiality and protect the trust that we placed in the executive team to run the town.
I think a lot of us need that advice, so, agreed.
Okay, you agree with what I'm saying?
Yes, and I agree.
And I like you and I want you to continue to work for the town, I would love that, but this, to me, it seems like a bridge too far, in my opinion, in my view, where the trust, obviously, how do we move forward from here?
Yeah. That's my big problem. You broke my heart and broke my trust by sharing this select board stuff
With town employees that should be trusted anyway, but I get where you're coming
It's
from.
all over town anyway, so.
Well, sent to the press as well.
It's sent to the
me
press was
seems
inexcusable.
completely inappropriate. Let the anonymous resident write the letter to the press and put their name on it. And why would you get involved in that? Because it says to CCI Berkshire, so you just saw that and said, I should probably do this? I think in the text, you shared some stuff with us here that you handed out. And Bob said, don't do anything with the letter. I'm going to talk with Tim. But then you sent it to Berkshire, so to me, that's a problem.
I just got one question. I know I wasn't involved, I wasn't here at this time, but it seems that you guys are very upset over this situation. I wasn't here privy to this when it happened, but it's taken over 4 weeks for this to come to a head that you guys finally
We
decided.
just found out about it, okay?
About the leak.
We just found out about it a week ago.
Okay, that in my packet, it doesn't say that.
Well,
It's just
I
been
told
4
you
weeks,
that
so I'm
we did
asking,
that.
why
We
is it
already
taking
talked
4
about
weeks?
that.
Now, here's the thing. A town employee can certainly share any piece of information they decide they want to share. Whether it's legal or not legal, or inappropriate or appropriate, right? One way or the other, a town employee can do whatever they want. My point is, I'm expecting a higher level of discernment and discretion at the executive level. If there was a name on the letter, maybe that's something completely different, but still, a lot of accusations in the letter. It's hearsay, slander even, who knows?
And it was all done during company time and on company, using company equipment, the town's equipment. You use the
Yeah.
town's.
It was on my desk
No,
during
but
work
you
hours.
used your computer that belongs to the town, you sent it while you were working for the town.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
and that's
know where
wrong,
we're
that's
going with
wrong.
that.
Appropriation of using the town equipment.
Okay.
You don't do it for your own personal gains and stuff. And I honestly believe you sent that letter to Berkshire hoping to get printed so you could spread this stuff out. Why else would you have done that? I haven't got a good explanation.
Mhm.
I mean, my heart is broken. I hate this. I absolutely hate this.
Yep.
Because there's nothing more than I wish I could move back this, but my trust is broken. I don't know if I can ever get past this. Because this is beyond what you should be doing. Any other questions or concerns?
Should we hear from legal counsel?
Yes, Tim, do you have?
Yeah, thank you, Bob. From my perspective, whether the fact that it was submitted anonymously is kind of irrelevant. What is material in my mind is that the letter contained allegations against a town employee and a town official. Those are just allegations, they're unproven. Don't know if they're true or not. And Alyssa's job as the executive assistant is to receive the letter and provide it to the select board. And the select board then gets to decide whether and how to investigate the allegations. And once it's conducted the investigations, whether to take any action. Allison sidestepped that entire process and leaked, provided the document to the newspaper, to iBerkshires. And there's a reason why iBerkshires didn't print the letter. One, because it was anonymous, and secondly, because it had no way to verify the claims in the letter. There's a reason why we have and we're required to hold to discuss personnel matters like this in executive session. And that is to protect the privacy of the individual who's the subject of the allegations. And the people who were named in that letter didn't have that, were deprived of that right. They didn't have the right to go into executive session to defend themselves or respond to the allegations. Instead, it was given to a town employee and iBerkshires with the hope that it would spread further. I think it's problematic. Alyssa is a confidential employee. The relationship and her ability to do the job depends on the board trusting her and trusting her to keep matters confidential.
Just a question real quick. Tim mentioned that once it's provided to you, you were to do an investigation to see if the allegations was that ever done?
Usually with an anonymous letter, there is no real investigation because there's nobody to go to ask them to verify any information. But that would be the normal course. If somebody had put their name on it, we would contact them and decide whether an investigation was warranted, and if so, what level of investigation. Not every allegation warrants a full investigation. And this one, it was about a Facebook post. We could see what was in the Facebook post. There's, only so much investigation that's really needed, but. That's that. I don't have anything further, Bob.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, but this isn't really relevant to the issue here. The board members and my colleagues have done, and the attorney have done a great job of narrowing the issue. It's an issue of trust, and the boards feel somewhat maybe betrayed. I don't know what the correct word is. But the letter itself, you folks in the audience don't have it. I've had it. I've read it 30, 40 times, including 10 times today before I came to this meeting. And I've never seen a more slanderous piece of trash, character assassination, defamatory letter in my life. And if it first came to me, I was the first one to touch it in the select board, I would have ripped it out. Because it's just unassailable garbage. And also, what strikes me most about anonymous letters is the people that write them are just plain cowards. And maybe that coward is in this room tonight. And I think you understand the harm you caused by writing that letter. Very harmful. Caused a lot of hate and discontent here, a lot of mistrust, a lot of disappointment. And that's my feelings on anonymous letters.
Thank you. Okay.
I think people write anonymous letters because of the fear of what is going to happen, but just my perspective on that as well.
Yeah, we can certainly make the motion. It's a question of, is the motion going to be specific to the discipline, or we deliberate the discipline in the conversation after the motion?
We'll make a motion then.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I move that we consider a disciplinary action against Alyssa Maschino.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call vote. John?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes. Well, we got to discuss what the disciplinary.
Yeah, we got to do the roll call to make sure we go.
Yeah.
Ms. Collins?
I'm going to abstain due to the fact that I was not on this board at the time this action took place.
And myself, yes.
Okay.
Open up for discussion.
Well,
You make the motions on the board, I don't.
no, I understand. I'm looking to see if you have any comments. I'm thinking that,
I think, okay, I do think there should be some repercussions and punishment for this act. I'm just not certain what it is. I'll leave that to you and Bob.
what are you thinking?
I move to terminate because the trust is broken. I don't think I can ever recover that trust anymore.
So that's a motion?
Yes.
I'll second. So we're in discussion. I support this motion because I don't see how we can move forward from here and place our trust in you to have that level of discernment and confidentiality at the executive level that we need. Any select board should have that, isn't it? Irregardless of who's up here, that needs to be there. I don't see a way forward. That's my view on it.
Yes. Well, it goes back to the person that wrote this letter that caused all this, and I'm sorry, Alyssa, that it came to this, because it just, like I said, this isn't easy for us to do. It's hard. It's a breach of trust for us. So I'm sorry.
Tim, could you speak to the need for a date certain and the issues involved about that?
Say that again, Tom?
Can you speak to needing a date and the issues involved around that?
An effective date for the termination?
Yes.
Yeah, well, if the board votes to take that action, I would recommend setting an effective date a day or two in the future. I guess tomorrow's a Friday. I don't know if, the law does require you to give the employee her final paycheck on the date, the effective date of her termination. And so I would recommend, setting a date 1 or 2 days in the future, as well as authorize the chair of the board to work with town council and the town manager to draft a formal notice of termination.
Okay. So
17.
we could take action on this motion and then make a second motion for the effective date, and also to authorize the chair to,
Dan, I would recommend making it, withdrawing the motion and just making one single motion, and just having a single vote on it.
okay. Withdraw your motion.
Yes, I withdraw my motion.
We have to vote on that?
Yes.
No, you don't need to vote on the withdrawal.
Okay.
Okay. I'll make the whole motion. What will be the effective date?
18th, 17th.
So sometime to let Dawn figure out the amount of the check.
So we're closed on the 17th, we're closed tomorrow. 18th? 19th?
Yeah.
And Monday's a holiday.
Yeah.
See.
So there's not enough talking to Dawn until Tuesday.
Okay, all right. Okay. Mr. Chairman, I move that we place Alyssa Maschino on administrative leave until February 19th. Further, that we terminate her employment on February 19th. And that we authorize the Select Board Chair, Robert Bishop, to work with Town Council and the Town Manager to coordinate the termination.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. If any further discussion. Roll call vote, John.
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Rob, yes. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Can I just make one
Do
more
we want to
comment?
give her an opportunity to say anything?
Sure.
I'm just going to point out that this seems like the retaliation that was mentioned in the letter that we all know is happening, but I guess you guys are blind to it, so